Hello and welcome back to the Joe and Joe Show, the podcast that helps you learn English for the real world. I'm Joe.
And I'm Joe, and we are so excited for today's episode. Joe, are you hungry?
I am always hungry, Joe, which is perfect because today we are talking all about how to order food at a restaurant.
Exactly. This can be a little stressful for English learners. You're trying to understand the menu, figure out what to say. It's a lot.
It is, but don't worry. We're going to break it down step by step with the exact phrases you need to sound natural and confident. Ready to dive in?
Let's do it. Okay, so you walk into the restaurant. The first person you'll probably see is the host. This is where it all begins.
Right. So the host will say something like, "Hi, how many in your party?" Or, "Hello, how many?" You just need to tell them the number of people. The simplest way is to say,
Table for two, please.
"Perfect." Or just, "Two, please." That works too. It's simple, it's polite. Now, what if you have a reservation?
Ooh, good one. If you called ahead and booked a table, you can say, "Hello, I have a reservation for two under the name Joe."
And they'll check their little book and say, "Right this way," and lead you to your table. Easy peasy. So you're at the table. You sit down. What's next, Joe?
Okay, so now you're going to meet your server or your waiter or waitress. They'll come over and usually start by asking about drinks. They might say, "Can I get you something to drink?"
Right. This is a great time to just get comfortable. You don't have to decide on your food right away. You can say something simple like, "I'll just have a water for now, please."
Or if you want a soda, you could ask, "What kind of sodas do you have?" A really useful phrase is, "I'll start with." So, "I'll start with an iced tea, please."
I'll start with. I like that. It sounds very natural. It tells the server that you're going to order more later, but for now, just a drink.
Exactly. Okay, so drinks are ordered. The server brings them. Now it's time to look at the menu. And menus can be confusing, even for native speakers.
Totally. All these fancy words. So don't be afraid to ask questions. This is so important. The server is there to help you.
Yes, so what's a good question to ask, Joe? Let's say you have no idea what to get.
The classic number one best question is, what do you recommend?
Yes, a great one, because servers know what's popular and what's delicious.
For sure. Another good one is, what are the specials today? Sometimes restaurants have special dishes that aren't on the regular menu.
Right, and don't feel shy about asking the price of the specials. Sometimes they forget to mention it and you don't want a surprise on your bill. You can just ask, "And how much is the steak special?" You can also ask specific questions about a dish. Like if you see pasta primavera, you could ask, "What comes in the pasta primavera?"
That's a good one. Or let's say you don't like spicy food. You could point to a dish and ask, "Is this very spicy?"
Exactly. Or even something like, "Could you tell me what's in the chef's salad?" Or, "Does the soup come with bread?" Being specific is totally fine.
That's a great point. The more specific your question, the better the answer you'll get. And it shows you're engaged and interested.
Yes, and this is super important for allergies. If you have an allergy, you must tell your server. You can say, "Does this dish contain nuts? I have a nut allergy."
Absolutely. Safety first. Okay, so you've asked your questions, you've looked at the menu, and you're ready. The server comes back and says, "Are you ready to order?"
The moment of truth. There are a few key phrases here that work perfectly. My favorite is, "I'd like." It's polite and clear. "I'd like the chicken sandwich, please."
Yep, "I'd like" is great. Another really common one is "I'll have," as in I will have. So I'll have the burger.
Hmm? "I'll have." Or even, "Can I get?" Like, "Can I get the fish and chips?" All of these are totally natural.
Right. Now, sometimes when you order, the server will ask you a follow-up question. For example, if you order a steak, they'll ask,
"And how would you like that cooked?"
exactly. You'll need to know if you want it rare, medium, or well done. Or if you order a burger, they might ask, "And what side would you like with that?"
Right, like fries or a salad. So you just answer their question. "Medium rare, please," or "I'll have the fries, thanks."
Okay. What about making changes? This is called a modification. Like, what if you want the burger but you hate onion?
Very important skill. You just add it to your order. So you'd say, I'll have the burger, but could I get it with no onions?
With no onions. Perfect. Or can I get extra pickles? People ask for modifications all the time, so don't feel bad about it.
Oh, that reminds me of a time I tried to get a little too creative with my order. It was so embarrassing.
Ooh, a story. Do tell.
Okay, so I was at this fancy Italian restaurant and I was trying to sound sophisticated. I saw a pasta dish with a cream sauce, but I was trying to be a little healthier. So when the server came over, I asked, can I get the fettuccine alfredo but with a tomato sauce instead of the cream sauce?
Oh no.
He just stared at me for a second, completely confused, and then very politely said, Ma'am, that would be a completely different dish. I basically asked them to invent a new recipe for me on the spot. My face went so red, I just stammered and said, Oh, right, I'll just have it the regular way, please. My friends still make fun of me for it.
Totally normal. I've been in a similar situation. Okay, so back to the example. You've ordered. The hard part is over. The food arrives, and it looks delicious.
But wait, you need something. Maybe you need more water or some ketchup for your fries. What do? You don't want to shout, Hey, across the room.
No, please don't do that. The best way to get your server's attention is to try to make eye contact. When they look over, you can give a little smile or a small wave.
Right. And when they come over, you just politely ask for what you need. A great phrase is, Excuse me, could we get some more water, please?
Perfect. And if the server asks, How's everything? You can say, It's great, thank you, or Everything is delicious.
They love to hear that. Okay, so you finished your meal. It was amazing. Now it's time for the final step, paying the bill.
Right. So again, you'll get your server's attention and you can say, Excuse me, we're ready for the check, please. Or could we have the bill, please?
Check or bill, both words work perfectly in American English. They'll bring it over in a little folder. You can pay with cash or a credit card.
And one last important thing to mention, especially for visitors to the US, is tipping.
Yes, the tip or gratuity. In the United States, it's customary to leave extra money for the server for their service. It's usually around 15 to 20% of the bill.
Right. It's an important part of the culture here. So, wow, we went from walking in the door to paying the bill.
We did. Before we go, let's do a quick recap of some of the most useful phrases we talked about. Joe, you want to start us off?
Definitely. So when you arrive, you can say, Hello, I have a reservation under the name Joe, or simply, A table for two, please. When you're not sure what to order, what do you recommend is your best friend. And don't forget you can ask specific questions like, Does this dish contain nuts?
Great ones. And for the ordering itself, you have lots of natural sounding options. I'd like the burger. I'll have the fish and chips. Or, can I get the pasta? And if you need to make a change, just add, but could I get it with no onions? Finally, to pay, you can say, we're ready for the check, please. Or, could we have the bill?
And now it's time for our new segment, Bonus Tips.
My bonus tip is about paying with friends. If you want to pay separately, you can ask your server at the beginning of the meal, is it okay if we have separate checks? It's much easier for them to do it at the start than at the end. If you forget, you can still ask, could we split the bill when you're ready to pay?
That is a fantastic tip. My bonus tip is simple. Restaurants can be loud. When you're speaking to your host or server, make sure to speak clearly and a little louder than you normally would. It helps them get your order right the first time and makes the whole experience smoother for everyone.
That's so true. Great tip, Joe. Well, that's all the time we have for today. We hope this helps you feel more confident the next time you go out to eat.
Thanks so much for listening to The Joe and Joe Show. If you are enjoying our content, please consider subscribing to our channel or share this with your friends and family who you think will benefit from our content. Until next time, keep practicing and we'll see you in the next episode.
Bye, everyone.